The cold wind of Chicago bit through his worn-out jacket as Daniel Hayes, a 19-year-old with empty pockets and big dreams, walked home after another long day of rejection. His resume was creased, his shoes had holes, and his hope was hanging by a thread. He had just been turned down for his 12th job interview that month. The manager didn't even look at him twice. "You don't have enough experience," they said. "Try again later." But Daniel couldn't wait. Bills were due, his rent was behind, and his mother was sick. As he passed a shop window, his reflection caught his eye, tired, defeated, yet alive. "No," he whispered to himself, "I'm not giving up. Not now." Daniel grew up in one of the roughest neighborhoods on Chicago's South Side. His father had left when he was 10, and his mother raised him alone, working double shifts at a diner. She often told him, "Son, life's gonna hit you hard. But if you keep standing, you'll win someday." Those words became his fuel. When Daniel finished high school, he dreamed of becoming a software engineer, fascinated by computers and coding. But college was a luxury he couldn't afford. So he worked odd jobs, delivering pizzas, cleaning offices, even sweeping construction sites, anything that kept food on the table. Late at night, while the city slept, Daniel would sit in a 24-hour library, teaching himself to code from free online tutorials. The fluorescent lights flickered. His eyes burned, and his stomach often growled, but his mind was focused. He failed hundreds of times. Code that wouldn't compile. Programs that crashed. He doubted himself constantly. But every time he wanted to quit, he remembered his mother's tired smile, her cracked hands serving customers, and her quiet strength. "Never quit, Danny," she always said. "Never let failure be the last word." 3 years later, at 22 Abubu, Daniel built his first small project, a simple app that helped local delivery drivers track orders. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. He sent it to several companies, hoping for a chance. None replied. He walked into offices, showed them his work, and was told, "We're not hiring, you're not qualified, it's not good enough." Every rejection felt like a punch to the chest. Still, Daniel didn't stop. He took side jobs fixing computers and phones. Every dollar he saved went into his dream, upgrading his old laptop, paying for Wi-Fi, and keeping his mum's medicine stocked. Then tragedy struck. One winter morning, his mother passed away quietly in her sleep. The world went silent. Daniel stood in that small hospital room, numb and broken. The only person who had believed in him was gone. For days, he didn't eat, didn't code, didn't move. He thought maybe it was time to give up. But when he opened her old dresser, he found an envelope labeled for Danny. Inside was a short note in her shaky handwriting. "My son, I may not see you become the man you're meant to be, but I know you will. Don't stop now. The world needs what's inside you. Love, Mum." Tears blurred his vision. That night, Daniel opened his laptop again. The screen glowed softly, reflecting his mother's faith in him. "I'll make you proud," he whispered, and he got back to work. Months passed. He started freelancing online, small projects at first. Some clients paid late, some not at all, but every challenge sharpened him. He learned not just coding, but discipline. He learned that success isn't luck, it's consistency. One day, while working at a coffee shop, a man in a grey suit approached him. "You made this app?" he asked, pointing at Daniel's screen. It was the same delivery tracker Daniel had built years ago. "Yes," Daniel replied cautiously. "I'm Mark Jacobs, CEO of Translogics. We've been struggling with real-time tracking solutions. Would you be interested in a meeting?" Daniel's heart skipped a beat. "Yes, sir, absolutely." That meeting changed his life. Translogics offered him a small contract to develop a beta version of his system. It wasn't glamorous, no big salary, no fame, but it was his start. For the next year, Daniel worked harder than ever before. Nights blurred into mornings. Coffee became his best friend. He tested, coded, redesigned, and fixed errors until perfection. Finally, after 14 months, his system went live, and it worked flawlessly. Within a year, Translogics became one of the most efficient logistics companies in the Midwest. Daniel's technology reduced costs and increased delivery speed by 40%. His name started spreading in the tech industry. By 28, Daniel launched his own startup, Never Quit Technologies, a name inspired by his mother S-words. His company focused on empowering underprivileged youth to learn coding for free. When reporters asked him why he didn't choose a more corporate name, he smiled and said, "Because Never Quit built me." It's not just a phrase, it's my life. Within 5 years, his company trained over 10,000 students across America, many from the same kind of neighborhoods he came from. Some became developers, others entrepreneurs, all inspired by one man's relentless will. At the National Innovation Summit in Washington, D.C., Daniel was invited to give a keynote speech. As he stood on stage before hundreds of young dreamers, he looked calm but emotional. He took a deep breath and said, "When I was 19, I had nothing. No money, no college degree, just a dream and a reason to fight. I failed more times than I can count. But every failure taught me something: how to stand again, how to learn, how to grow. If you're struggling right now, if life feels impossible, I'm here to tell you, you are not done yet. Success is not built overnight. It's built every time you decide to rise again. Don't stop. Don't surrender. Never, ever quit." The crowd rose in applause. Many had tears in their eyes. As Daniel stepped off stage, a young boy approached him, holding a notebook. "Mr. Hayes," the boy said, "I want to be like you someday." Daniel knelt down, smiled, and replied softly, "Then promise me one thing: when it gets hard, don't quit." The boy nodded, clutching his notebook tight. That night, as Daniel looked out over the Washington skyline, he felt a quiet peace in his heart. He had lost, failed, cried, and fought, but he had never stopped. He realized that success wasn't about being the best, it was about being the one who kept going when everyone else gave up. The wind whispered softly across the city, and he smiled. "Mum," he said to the stars, "I did it."